Greetings, YouTube. In case anyone isn't aware of this, this is money, held in a money clip that at one time said "Love Mom 1979," but the words are almost worn off because I've carried it for so long. Yeah, I carry my bills in a money clip, always have, or at least have since 1979. Because I've always kind of liked that, and I prefer not to have cash in my wallet. I just keep that for cards and such. Um, this represents a portion of my life. All right, and this particular amount of money I think is equivalent to roughly 1 day's pay, take home. About that. That's about usually what I usually have in my pocket at any one time. But this dollar bill right here represents a portion of every person who is a working individual's life. Because that's what it is. This is fungible time. It's more efficient than trade. Because if I have this and I want to give it to you or something else, that's cool. But if I can't find someone who has the thing I need that wants one of those, I'm screwed. But this is fungible. Pass it around from person to person. It can be used for trade. And it does a lot more good out on the ground than it does sitting in, say, a billionaire's bank account. But we have to remember that this is your life. This is roughly, it's 20% of my work week. 14% of my entire week. It's a portion of my life. Don't forget that. I saw a blurb somewhere on YouTube about it might have been YouTube, or it could have been on Instagram, about how these people they lived in a sustainable home, they had their own land, they had a sustainable home, and they hadn't bought groceries in a year. And that was supposed to, be lauded and such. And I looked at it and I'm like, well, that's cool and all. But producing those vegetables took portions of their lives. They may not have turned this over to get them, but they still turned over a portion of their lives to get them. Now, it could have been a portion of their lives that they enjoyed doing. My wife enjoys gardening. In fact, at this point in time, she does that professionally. She is a professional gardener. But on her off hours, she still gardens. She gardened before. If she does not keep this job forever, she'll garden after. So gardening for her is enjoyment. And she actually produces a very small quantity of food. In fact, just recently she built her own composting bin, a large scale one out of 4 pallets, with some supplies that I helped her acquire. And she did the whole construction, the whole thing by herself. And now she's in the process of turning it over and trying to turn our vegetable wastes, mostly from her vegetables because she's a vegetarian, into something useful for her gardens. So that's kind of cool. But that takes time. It's a portion of her life. It may be a portion of her life that she enjoys, but it's still a portion of her life. And if you're producing all of your own food, that's going to be a much larger portion of your life. But just because you're saying you're not paying for your groceries doesn't mean you're not spending a portion of your life, because you are. And you can't forget that. So don't think that, people are saying, well, you save so much money if it's, you do it yourself. Yeah, I understand that. I'm a hobbyist. I build things for fun. Admittedly, the things I build are, stuff like this. So not necessarily the most, useful thing in the world, but I still build things for fun. And it would cost me more to purchase this than it cost me to make it. Because why? I invested the time. I invested a portion of my life into that item to bring it into existence, on top of the cost of the items that went into it. Even if I got a good deal on some of the things I use because I'm a scavenger and I get things cheaply or even free, I still take time to find them. It takes me time to look on Craigslist every day, see who's giving stuff away. It takes me time to visit thrift shops and estate sales and yard sales to scavenge for inexpensive things that I can turn into toys that I enjoy making. It's all a portion of your time. So don't listen to those influencers or blurbs you see on Instagram and on YouTube and stuff about how you will save money if you do it yourself. You may save some money, but you're still spending part of your time. And don't undervalue your own time. Your life has value. Everyone's life has value. Spend it wisely. And if that time, that what you want to spend it is sitting in front of a chair looking at YouTube every day like I do, but that's what I enjoy. That's how I bring myself into a space where I'm comfortable and when I can kind of recharge my battery because I'm not what you call an extrovert, then that's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. But be aware that is what you're doing. And don't let somebody tell you that if you do it yourself, you're better than those who use a fungible medium to acquire their things, because you aren't. Nor are you better if you pay for something as opposed to making it yourself, because you're not. It's all a part of your life. Never forget that, and spend it wisely.